Hey everybody, this is Tyra Odin here. Hope you guys are all well and in very good health. So the opening game of the ICC Champions Trophy today involving New Zealand and Pakistan was totally lopsided, or should I say one-sided. It was a top-class professional performance from a New Zealand side that has always been known to be cricket's nicest guys on the planet, as they thumped the defending champions Pakistan in the opening match of the 2025 ICC Champions Trophy today at the National Bank Stadium in Karachi. After being sent in to bat by the Pakistanis, opener Will Young struck 107 and Tom Latham smashed an unbeaten 118 to help the Kiwis overcome a sluggish start and post a commanding 320 for 5 from 50 overs on what was a batting beauty at Karachi. Glenn Phillips chipped in with a brisk 61 as New Zealand breached the 300-run mark, which had looked like a distant dream after they had a wobbling start. And it just goes to show that a team can bounce back after a poor start and accelerate at the back end of an inning. And speaking of which, the Black Caps, they managed to score at over 11 runs and over in the final 10 overs due to Glenn Phillips going absolutely berserk, smashing the Pakistani pacers all around the park. And again, the Pakistani bowlers were very expensive. Shaheen, Naseem, Hariswal were all expensive. The only bowler that did well, I thought, was Babar. He bowled his full quarter of 10, only conceded 47. And on the other hand, what I find quite bizarre also was Salman Ali Agar only bowling 3 overs compared to Kushal Shah, who only bowled 7 and only conceded 40. Now, Salman Ali Agar is a better bowler than Kushal. I just can't understand what is Kushal's role in the Pakistani team, but I'm not going to bash him at all. You know why? He scored a half century when they were in the run chase, which we will talk about as well. And talking about Pakistani team, they were never in the run chase as their top order batters failed to accelerate early on and were bowled out for 260 after 47.2 overs, aka the 48th over, with Babar Azam 64 and Kushal Shah 69 scoring half centuries. But the host never looked in the hunt. What set the men in green back was the injury to Fakhar Zaman early on in the match, sustaining an injury in the first over, or should I say the back end of the first over, because that's where the incident occurred. He had sustained a muscle strain, and that is another serious problem Pakistan have, because you see, they do not even have a backup opener. They dropped Abdullah Shafiq after he had 3 successive failures. He had 3 failures in South Africa, struggled a bit against Australia and Zimbabwe, and yet still he was dropped after being preferred as one of the openers throughout 2024. And then they don't have Simon Hume, who is still recovering from that gruesome injury he sustained against South Africa in the second test match. And this just goes to show that Pakistani team have only selected those who have performed well on the T20 basics. Now, and speaking of basics, the first 10 overs of the match, that's where Pakistan totally lost the match. And they couldn't have made a strong comeback, but only 2 guys that showed fight, minus Babar, who I have to say, let me just say this. Babar Azam, in my opinion, scoring these runs in a 300 plus chase 64 of 90 is not only a disrespect, but a complete setback for when they have batters like Salman Ali Agar and Kushal Shah, and even the bowlers can score some runs, but the problem is they just couldn't stick around. Only Salman Ali Agar and Kushal Shah, mind you, showed fight and aggression, and this was the match card. Pakistan, in fact, beg your pardon, New Zealand 320 for 5 centuries from Will Young and Tom Latham. And then overall, sorry guys, I need to catch my breath a little bit. Batting card, New Zealand 320 for 5, William 107, Tom Latham 118, Abra 1 wicket for 47, something like that. And then Pakistan, they were no show on the day. Sorry to say it. They ended up folding for 260 inside 48 overs. Kushal Shah top scored with 69, Babar Azam 64. You know, it's high time Pakistan take some serious decisions and drop Babar Azam for the team's sake. Because, you see, I'll tell you something. Babar has failed to score big for Pakistan within the last 6 months to a year, or almost 2 years or so. And everybody say he has always been the backbone of the Pakistani team. But the problem is, when he was the captain, he was always being very defensive and not attacking. And this is the problem. And then since he opted to quit since he was forced to quit the captaincy, he has been failing constantly. So overall, I think Pakistan after this Champions Trophy will need to take some serious stance and introduce more youngsters in the team moving forward, because I think Babar is holding the team back. I'm not against Babar because I like his batting, but he has been the problem for Pakistan within the last year or two. And to have him as an opener for this Champions Trophy, what is this? What is on? Why it is they didn't select an extra opener, or worse, an extra spinner, knowing that the spinners can come into the attack later on and buy a wicket or two. Khushnil Shah, who was selected, by the way, thanks to Bangladesh Premier League, he literally struggled in the triangular competition that finished last week. He didn't have any good innings at all. But those 69 runs he scored against New Zealand might give him some confidence. And I have a feel, in my opinion, why they don't throw him up the order, promote him up the order, face more deliveries and settle down. And then you hear Pakistani media also saying that Usman Khan can open. Where the hell have I seen this guy open in the PSL? He was always a middle order batter. And the selectors, they need to be held accountable, so as the management, because this cannot be the Pakistan team that I know of. Or even Sir Viv Richards said at the time in 2019 World Cup, this is not the Pakistan team that won the 2017 ICC Champions Trophy. This is a side that has struggled in the recent tri-cities, and the combinations, they were all wrong. Like what I was saying about Babar Azam, he was batting like West Indies and Guyana's left-handed great batter Shivnarine at the ball. The only guys that showed aggression was Agar and Khushnil. And speaking of Shandapol, there was a World Cup quarter-final game in 2011 where West Indies had played Pakistan, and I believe Shandapol himself was the real reason. I believe Shandapol was the reason for West Indies' defeat in the quarter-final, where they lost by 10 wickets. And they were rattled thanks to the spin of Shahid Afridi and Saeed Ajmal. But on the other hand, after that World Cup in 2011, West Indies made a brave decision by dropping Shandapol, and he never played ODI again. He quit after that 2011 World Cup. For me, I think the PCB is going to have to take a huge stance and drop Babar from all formats till he either goes back to domestic cricket in Pakistan or even play the county cricket across in the UK. But on the other hand, Khushnil made a quick fire 69, and Salman Ali Agar made, I think, 48 or something like that. But in the end, they were way behind the game and lost. Now they know that the game against India on Sunday is a virtual knockout for them. They have to win to stay in the competition. Otherwise, they're out of it in front of their home fans. And worse enough, their match against India is in Dubai due to India refusing to travel to Pakistan. But I will not get into that because it's all shitty politics. But on the other hand, India, they face Bangladesh tomorrow and they will have the advantage, and I will say why. They have selected 5 spinners for the Champions Trophy. And don't rule out Bangladesh, because we've seen in the past how Bangladesh have been unpredictable. I remember a time they scored 300 a couple of times against West Indies back in December in St. Kitts and lost. So who knows what can happen. And Bangladesh is a side that cannot be taken for granted. India, on the other hand, they have the firepower, but they're without Jasprit Bumrah, who got injured in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. But the big boost for them is the return of Mohammad Shami. They have Arshdeep Singh. They have spinners in Jadeja, Yadav, and a few others, whose names I forgot, sadly. Anyways, so that game, in fact, all the games in the Champion Trophy are expected to be crackers. Some of them can be lopsided, some of them can be thrilling, but let's hope, for God's sake, the politics stays out of the game. With that said, I wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be back tomorrow to look back at the India-Bangladesh game. So until then, take care, my friends.